Hi, everyone. Welcome to another amazing topic of conversation. I want to thank my sponsors, South Florida PBS, and their new exhibit, DaVinci Immerse exhibit. So please go to their website and get some tickets. It is really amazing. Thank you to Alexa's Workspaces. If you need an office, whether it's a 5 minute, an hour, or a boardroom, or even a virtual office, Alexa's Workspaces can help you. And if you want to become financially independent and have your own virtual online store, Hermosa Mujer will be able to help you with this. So, Liat, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for inspiring me when we started and I asked you if you were ready and you said, I was born ready. I think that's an amazing inspiration quote.
Yeah, today I can say it and mean it, but it took a lot of work to actually get to that.
Yeah, okay, so that's
Yes.
more inspirational. So our topic of conversation today is relationships and why are people getting divorced. So there is, according to Forbes, in 2024, there is a 43% of divorce rates. But according to the United States Census, divorce lowered a little bit. It lowered by 7 points. So why do you think that it actually lowered, and why there is still a 43% rate on the first marriage?
Okay, so
I know it was a big question.
yeah, it's two separate questions, but I'll say that it's very scientific, the fact that you're bringing. And as a healer, I think it's all related to energy phases that we're going through. Divorces are declining these days, I assume, because of people are trapped into a financial trap. It's not easy to divorce today because in this generation we become very materialistic and we afford ourselves a very high lifestyle. And when you think about getting divorced, it's taking a toll on a family, especially on a couple. And sometimes it's better to stay together than just lose all the assets. So it's convenient also. But the rates are usually, in the past 20 years, they were actually increasing a lot. So
Yeah, so there is definitely something that they're staying together. But in your perception, it's about money. It's not about having a healthy relationship.
it's about um, a lot of things that comes together. Financial is one point. Another one is people that really don't develop into spirituality. And don't forget that nobody teaches us how to hold a marriage.
No,
Nobody
no.
tells you how to be a couple. There's no school for that. And this is my mission. That's what I do today. I'm on a mission because I went through my own divorce and I know what it took on me and my family on so many levels. I'm really trying, and that gets me into researching into why people get divorced and how to prevent it. The most important is not the why, but how to prevent, because why we always have thousands of reasons and it's
Yes.
nice to know, but prevention is going to get you to the solution much faster. So people don't, they usually get into a relationship. They get married when they fall in love, and they just follow the footsteps of their parents.
But wait, talking about parents, the past generation, there was less rate of divorce, and I think, and this is also my perception, because every single couple goes through the ups and downs. Every single couple has their fights, have their good times, it's all cyclical and it's life. But they worked through the fights. They put their soul into it, and they continue. I feel that today, the younger generation, it's like the word whatever. I don't need this, and they just leave, and they don't even try to work at keeping their marriage, especially when there are no kids.
I don't know if they worked through it, they just accepted it. I don't know how
Or
much they were aware of going to therapy, to healing sessions and stuff like that. They just accepted it and lived
just
in their
live
own
through it.
misery. Yeah. Yeah. If they were lucky to be happy, they said happy. If they were miserable, they were complaining. And they lived through it. At the end of the day, today there is more awareness. There's more people that are looking to easy solutions, and it brings them to also not to be really loyal to whatever it is. So it's very easy to break things and just to restart, like you restart your computer. It's much easier to continue and just lash on than actually doing the work, because it requires a lot of efforts. A relationship is something that you invest in, and most of the people today, they're very self-absorbed, and they're all about success and making it happen for themselves in their life. So even if they get a trophy wife, and with the time they can be not investing as much in the relationship, and they just you know choose on the easy way out. So it's like it requires to do some somatic work, which is not only mindfulness with the therapy like we used to do like 10-20 years ago, but today it's more about healing the relationship, because the relationship hold a lot of trauma. If it's from this generation, if it's from past life, but there's so many cases that you hear about, incidents of sexual abuse or things that are happening, like we spoke before we get online, and it's happening almost like for 5 women out of 10 and 3 men out of 10 today. So it's super common, and people don't dissolve those trauma, so they stay with it, and then where it explode when you are in a relationship, because we don't know how to handle it. You follow me? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it is like the grief period that you have to go through the stages to finally resolve it. And if somebody is abused, unless they don't heal the trauma, it will come in a relationship.
Very true. And also, it's not always about resolving, but it's about under recognizing it, understanding that it's there, because most of the people are suppressing these emotions, and that's what create blockages, and that's what interfere between people to actually have a relationship with themselves and with their partner. So all these blockages are actually not letting people access each other with full compassion, or full, authentically, reliably being with each other.
So what are you doing? I know that your mission now is to eliminate divorce rates. which hopefully for a lot of couples, and now this generation, there's also a trend that they are living together without the commitment of getting married. It's
Well,
like the new generation, they don't want any attachments.
right, right.
So no home, no papers, no, we just travel together, live together, no kids.
And that's why it's not holding. That's exactly why it's not holding, because when you don't bring the kedusha in Hebrew means sacred. When you don't bring the sacred energy
Commitment.
into your marriage, it's your the holiness. You have to tap on a very holy energy when you get into marriage, because it's not about just the couple. It's the reunion along with God from above. So when you are committed to God before you committed to yourself, and you bring each other into sacredity, then it becomes more difficult, because you make a vow. It becomes more difficult to put it apart, to just leave it alone. But that's religiously speaking. Spiritually speaking, it's when there is an awareness of a soul, because we are a soul. We are, we are in this body, but we actually made of body, mind, and soul. And most of the people are not aware that they are a soul. And when soul are meeting each other, they have a purpose. They have a purpose. It's called tikkun. Tikkun means rectification, to rectify, to try to correct something from a previous life or from a previous relationship that we really didn't manage to overcome. And that's why together we do it together. That means doing the work of truth. So when you actually committing yourself to do the work of truth, because having a relationship just as a lovey-dovey is very easy. But the real challenge is when life hits you, and with the challenges to stay together and being committed and not running away just for nothing. And the tikkun is actually overcoming those challenging together.
So what is your advice, some of the advice or some of the tools for overcoming a challenge? And I know that a lot of the challenges that couples go through are, for example, financial or the kids, and it can sometimes all add up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how,
So the first one is the first word that I'm getting is communication. Why communication? Because communication, community come in unity. When you come in unity, you're actually able to communicate and to talk over everything, and through that, release some blockages. Same as writing down things, right? But when you talk things over, you dissolve some energy out of the system that help meet each other. So it's very important to do it maybe with a person like me or anyone else that can guide you how to do it, because sometimes we lack respect toward each other. And
not
we
only respect or understanding?
understanding, we only about me, watching my point of view and not being tolerant about the other. So when you have a third person showing both sides, their point of view, that actually can compromise and bring them in unity. Another thing is really being aware of making sure, committing to yourself, that there's not a thing of going to sleep when you argue.
Oh, I have that. Yes, that you cannot go to sleep
Cannot go to
without,
sleep
no,
unless you
as you
dissolve it,
resolve,
and
unless,
you yes, that's the number one thing that is really important, because when you go to sleep like that, you wake up like that, and you get into a loop of miscommunication, and that can get you into a different frequency that really hurt the relationship, because they can stay with their anger inside of them, And the anger toward each other is the number one obstacle in the relationship.
No, and during the night, you can totally think, I call the night is the witch's night,
Yeah.
where you can totally look into the movie in a more tragic way when it is really not
That severe.
that bad.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Another one. Give me another tip.
So another one is I call it the rendezvous. Rendezvous in French is like a very intimate meeting. That means you schedule it on your calendar, and once a week or whenever whatever you can allow yourself, I recommend it to do it once a week. You have a certain day at a certain time for an hour or two, that is your time. And you make it a rendezvous. It's an intimate meeting when doesn't matter what you do, but you dare to really meet each other's soul. If it means sitting down and just gazing at each other, if it's just with good eyes, because sometimes the look in the eyes can be very frightening when you're upset, when you're mad, when you can kill someone with your eyes. But to really be aware of how you look at the other person and bring some good intention. Tony Robbins says, where intention goes, energy flows. So when you come with good intention of really making that happen, you bring all you download all your positivity, and you dare to meet each other from heart to heart. Even if it's putting your heart on each other or caressing or touching, but just a very intimate way, not necessarily sex. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking just about really meeting intimate, because intimacy, the word intimacy is into me, I see. The more I'm able to see into myself, the more I'm able to see into the other. So when I'm able to just be present and sit down and stay with me, and my partner is actually a mirror of who I am. And just holding hands, just be there. Just be there. We don't have to say
Yeah.
anything.
Just a hug can really
Yeah,
make a
hug,
difference.
a lean, see? Things like that, which
A
we all need.
smile.
A smile, a good eye, a caress, everything that is soft, because life is so tough. And we forget how to be soft and how to really bring more calm and decompress with each other. You don't necessarily have to go and climb a mountain or do crazy stuff. It's really required you just to sit down, light a candle, and look at each other and be with each other present.
So schedule it.
Schedule it is key. It's like we scheduled the interview here, right? Because we both showed up, right?
Yes. So
We
it's
were committed
schedule it.
to show up and be here. Same with the couple. They have to be committed to show up for each other and put it on the calendar.
I guess we're all now run by calendars, but
Yes,
also be spontaneous.
of course. That
Wait for the calendar. So if anybody, Liat, where can they find you? Like, do you have a webpage? Because
my
I'm
website is my name, so liatberko.com. And I work with singles, how to attract love into their life. I work with couples, how to how to prevent divorce, how to communicate better, how to spice up their intimate life. I also do workshops and retreats. And I actually have one coming up this Monday. So if you go to my website, you have all the information there. And of course, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube, Spotify. I have a podcast with free
oh wow.
meditations. Yes.
So for everyone that really needs help or just spice up their relationships, because we had Liat on an event for the power of the heels and every single person loved it. So Liat, thank you so much. And to everyone, please stay safe, and hopefully there will be peace in the world.
Amen. Amen. Thank you,
Stay
Gladys, for
safe.
everything you do.